Alright everyone, so it is time to make another freezer meal, and on this one I'm going to make sweet and sour chicken. It is Sunday night. It's 4:36 right now, so I'm going to get started because it takes a while to make the sweet and sour chicken, frying all the chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and use a whole pack of chicken. Normally I use 2 really big sized chicken breasts, and these are fairly small here, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the whole thing. So I'm going to cut this up in pieces, smaller pieces, and then I'm going to cut this up, and then I'm going to make the sweet and sour sauce. And then after that's done and cooling off, I'm going to come back and make the batter to dip the chicken in, and then start frying it. And while I'm frying it, I'll be making the rice in the rice cooker. So it takes a while to do this. So according to the meal plan for this week, sweet and sour chicken wasn't going to be until Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday making it, Thursday leftovers. But the meal I was going to make today, what was it? Salisbury meatballs. I needed mushrooms for that, and I don't have any, and I didn't feel like going to the store today just for mushrooms. So as I said in the previous video, it's just a lineup of meals we want to have this week, and I might change it up. So that's what I'm doing today. So I'm going to go with the sweet and sour chicken. It's going to be for today and tomorrow night. So right now I'm going to go ahead. I won't video me cutting it up. You already know what it looks like. But I'll record me making the sweet and sour sauce and the batter. Alright, so stay tuned for this freezer meal. Oh, I'll be using my tempered glass cutting board. Again, I only use the Wolf one for meats. The reason I like to use the tempered glass one rather than the regular plastic cutting board, this is so easy to wash off the chicken, where in the plastic it just kind of gets stuck in all that, you know, it doesn't wash off as good. So that's why I like using this. Alright, so I'm going to get this cut up, and I'll be back when I'm ready to really start on this. Alright everyone, so we are going to make the sweet and sour sauce now. This is going to be a red sauce. We're going to put our heat on medium. We've got 1 cup of sugar. We've got 2.5 tablespoons of cornstarch and just a pinch of salt. We're going to whisk that together. Oh, I turned on the wrong burner. Just whisk that together. Put it back on the burner. I'm going to add 1.5 cups of water, 2 teaspoons of vinegar, or no, 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, 2.5 tablespoons of vinegar, and then you're going to need some red food coloring. That's what's going to make it red, not ketchup. And just put some drops in there to the redness you want it, and then just whisk all that together. Once you got it all whisked together, you're just going to let it simmer. I've got it on a medium heat again, and every now and then whisk it. Once it starts bubbling and thickening up, then you can take it off the burner and just set it on the countertop to cool. It starts off as a brighter red, and as it thickens up, it'll turn a darker red. And that's all there is to making a red sauce, a red sweet and sour sauce. It is so good. Alright, we're just going to let that kind of simmer on its own. And then we'll come back and whisk it every now and then and until it bubbles up. Alright everyone, so it's starting to bubble up and it's turning darker. So at this point you just really want to keep an eye on it. You don't want it to burn. Just keep whisking. I'm going to let it bubble up a little bit more to thicken up. While I was waiting for this, I was getting the ingredients ready for the batter. Alright, it's really turning dark now. If you just keep your heat on medium, it takes about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Alright, so I'm probably at the point where I'm going to take it off. I'm going to give it one more stir and take it off the burner because I could feel it's getting thicker. And as it sits, it'll also get thicker as it sits. So take it off the burner. I just got a silicone pad that I'm going to put it on, and that's all there is to making red sweet and sour sauce. And believe me, it is delicious. Alright everyone, so we are ready to make the batter now. So we are actually going to start with 1 egg. Where did I put my egg? One cup of water. And then we're just going to throw in some salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder. Salt and pepper I usually don't measure. Garlic powder is very minimal. And then we're also going to put in a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. Alright, so we're going to whisk this up. Alright, so now we're going to add in 1 cup of flour. We're going to whisk that again. As it gets thicker, I'm going to go to a spoon if it doesn't get too thick for the whisk. I don't know if I mentioned I've got the oil heating right now. I've got the chicken cut up right now. Alright, so now we're going to add another 1/4 cup of flour. Whisk it again. And now it's really starting to thicken up. If you want it a little thinner, add more water. We are going to add some oil to this though. So we'll see how it looks at the end. Alright, so now we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of, it calls for vegetable oil, I use canola oil. And 1 tablespoon of baking powder. I'm going to whisk that again. And that's all there is to making the batter. I've been using this for a long time. Now you could marinate the chicken before you put it in the batter. I did that at first, but I tend to forget about it, and then so I ended up not marinating it. So this is the batter. Alright, so that's done. Alright, so I'm going to put my clean up here a little bit, get the rice going, wait for the oil to heat up, and I've got the chicken cut up in cubes here, and we'll start frying up some chicken for some sweet and sour chicken. What I usually do to take the chicken out of the batter is I use one of these skewers and just pick them up that way. So, alright, so let me get this cleaned up and we're going to get going. Alright everyone, so I've got my oil here. I've got the batter with some chicken in there right here. And behind the camera here I have a cookie sheet with paper towel to put the chicken on. And I'm going to be using a skimmer. So what I want is this temperature to be about 370 degrees. So we have this digital temperature gauge, and you just point it to turn it on or push the button, and then point it. You see the red dot in there? I don't know if you could see the red dot right there. And then it tells you right there. So it's 379, so I'm ready to go. So we're going to start frying this. Now I'm going to turn on the fan just because of the smell of the oil. So I'll record a little bit of me frying it. Just know that when you put all your chicken in there, you want to take your skimmer and constantly move it around. And at 370 degrees, you should only have to cook it for 3 to 4 minutes. So I'm going to get going. I'm going to turn the fan on. I'll record, but I'll probably not talk. All right, everyone. So here is another freezer meal: sweet and sour chicken, and some homemade red sweet and sour sauce with white rice. So I put soy sauce in my rice. Glenn uses a sweet and sour sauce for his rice. So there it is, everything homemade and using what we have out of the freezer. So, all right, everyone. So there you have me making the sweet and sour chicken, the sauce, the batter, everything from home. And now I'll take it a little further and break down the cost to make this and then compare it to what it would cost if we would buy it at the Chinese restaurant we used to go to. All right, so let's start with the ingredient cost. So I used 1 pack of chicken breasts, which contained 4 smaller pieces, and the entire pack was $7.24. I used 1 1/4 cups of flour, and I broke it down amongst cups, and it was 46 cents of flour that I used. And I'll explain in a minute how I broke it down to know the cost. I used 1 cup of sugar, which equaled 48 cents, 1 egg, broke down to 33 cents. I roughly estimated I used about a dollar's worth of oil, and 1 cup of rice at 33 cents. All the other ingredients, like the soy sauce vinegar, which was very minimal, I just added a dollar if it even cost a dollar for all the small ingredients. So let's I'll explain how I broke down the sugar, flour, everything per pound. Um, there's typically it's either 2 cups or 2 1/4 cups per pound. So if you buy a 10-pound bag of flour or sugar, it's two. I went to 2 cups. So a 10-pound bag of flour and sugar would contain 20 cups of to make up that 10 pounds. So the price of the 10-pound bag of flour was $7.33. Divide that into 20 for the 20 cups, it comes out to whatever how much cups you use. So, for instance, the sugar. I'll explain the flour because I used a 1 1/4 cup, so I went a little further. Um, the price per cup in the flour was less than that 46 cents, but I used an additional quarter, so I added that on, and that's how I got the 46 cents. But to make it more clear, the sugar was exact 1 cup. The cost of the 10-pound bag of sugar was $8.94. And you divide that cost up into 20 for the 20 cups, and it comes out to 48 cents a cup. So that's how I got those prices. The egg, I simply divided the cost of the entire 18-pack of eggs and divide the cost of the eggs by the 18, and that's how I got 33 cents per egg. So as I said, I roughly guessed the oil and the small ingredients. The 1 cup of rice was a five pound bag, and I did the same with the cups in each item. So it came out to 33 cents. So that's how I came up with the prices for the flour, sugar, and everything else. Okay, so with this cost breakdown, let's see what the total amount it costs to make this. All right, so we're going to break this down a little bit more, and the total cost to make this meal was $10.34. Now, we actually have enough for 2 nights, so we only ate half of what we made. So cost per night is $5.17. Now, $5.17 was for both of us per night. So the cost per person per night was $2.59. So that is a pretty good price for a good plate of sweet and sour chicken made at home. Now, we used to buy our sweet and sour chicken at a place called Chinatown Kitchen, and we used to order 2 large sweet and sour chickens. Now, one order of sweet and sour chicken at Chinatown Kitchen is $11.15. And times two for one for each of us would be $22.30. That, when you really look at that, that's a lot of money. um, so, if you compare what we did at home compared to what we would pay at Chinatown Kitchen, the $22.30 minus the $5.17, which gave us a savings of $17.13. Now, that is pretty good. Now, not everything you buy, like let's say a McDonald's breakfast sandwich, if you made that at home, I don't know that the cost breakdown and the cost difference is going to be great, but for the most part, you're going to definitely be cheaper, better off cooking it at home. The price difference is going to be to your advantage, and plus, food always tastes better cooked at home. So yeah, we haven't been to Chinatown Kitchen in a very long time. Since I learned how to make our own at home, we haven't been back. So, and I don't foresee us going back. All right, so I just wanted to give you a good idea of what the difference is cooking at home versus buying it in a restaurant. So, but of course, it's all up to you. Whether, some people do it for the convenience, and I'm not saying we will never buy a meal out again because sometimes it is convenient. Sometimes you just don't feel like cooking, but I just wanted to give you a cost breakdown and kind of open your eyes a little bit as to how much food costs eating out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch it. I appreciate all of you each and every day. And if you want to see more content like this, where I break down cost of meals to make at home and compare them to eating out, drop it down in the comments. So again, I hope you enjoyed the video. And with that, remember to live life, be good to yourself, and be good to others. Until next time.